Hello and welcome to Just Tech Talk. In this channel, I talk about different tutorials, walkthroughs, installation videos, troubleshooting videos. I do reviews of some products and unboxing of the products. If you are new to this channel, just click on subscribe and turn notifications on so that you get the notification about all new videos. Today we are going to look at workflows again. In last session, what we did, we created a workflow in which we were getting it approved by a person or a group of people. But that was kind of a static thing. It was not a dynamic approval workflow. So today we are going to proceed with the workflow itself, and we are going to use a little bit of dynamic allocation of the approval basically. So what we are going to do is, let's say a person who has raised this request, we are going to use the manager of that person to approve. So it is like inline or direct manager should approve whatever request has been raised by a person. So we are going to create a workflow for that. Furthermore, what I'm going to show you is based on forms specific values. Let's say there is a checkbox or there is some specific let's say criteria which you want to filter based on the input which is coming from the form, and then probably you need to send that approval to X person or Y person or X role or Y role. So we are going to look at that part as well. So now before I proceed, I'll just show you for direct manager. Of course, this is very important that a person who is there in the system should have their direct managers linked with Active Directory, or somewhere they should be populated in the person area, basically in person's profile. By default, this field which is available over here, manager, is not there in this general. I've just added it by changing the layout, and I just added the manager of the person over here. Maybe we'll look into it how to do this later, but in short, your manager field should be there if you want anybody to have his manager approving his request. So now let's say we have to create the workflow. So for sure, for that we need management workflow studio over there. And just to save on time, I've already opened this workflow studio over here for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build on top of this form itself, which you can see, which we created in the last video. So I'm going to create a new form over here, and I'll take the template or copy from this form itself, and I'm going to say create. Okay, and over here I will rename it and say, let's say direct manager, or instead of that I will say conditional. Okay, this is just a name of my workflow, and I'll click on save over here. Now if you see, this is our last workflow which we created. It was a direct thing, that decision maker was a direct person, and in the other one there was a group or a role who was the approver for it. Now in today's session, as I said, we are going to remove this and we are going to create based on the person's line manager or direct manager, or based on the content of the form. So for now, just as a simple thing, just forget about the name because I'm going to create a second approval as well. But for now, creating an approval for a consumer or a person who has raised this request, the manager, is pretty simple. First thing, I would change this to direct manager just for our understanding or better understanding, and here I'll rename also You can write it manager, direct manager, whatever you feel like. Save over here, and then you will click on here, decision maker, and instead of Bilal, you will go to dynamic over here. And in the dynamic, you will go over here in service, SVC, service booking class base, expand consumer, and within consumer you will find something called manager, and you will click on OK. So now by doing this, whoever the person is who's raising this request, his manager will get this request for approval. So let's save this, check in, validate, and then release. Okay, now let's go back over here and change our service request to accommodate this new workflow. Okay, forget about this. I mean, just for now, leave this two aside. This is step workflow for VPN request conditional, and I'm going to click on done over here. And now let's say this guy John Wick, he's going to raise this request. Now my request is raised, and if I refresh over here, you see this has gone for an approval as expected. If I click on this, what it says, it has gone to direct manager pending with Bilal Ahmed. Because this person's actual manager is Bilal Ahmed, that's why it is written that it has gone for Bilal Ahmed. So this is, and you see Bilal has received a message or an email stating that there is an order which is pending for your approval. So Bilal can go, log in, and of course approve this request. So for now, I'm going to go in this particular request where it has gone to Bilal, and I'm going to approve. Click on summary, finish approval, and that's it. And if you see over here, it has gone to acceptance. There is no provisioning task associated to this. That's why nothing is going to provisioning. It has directly gone as an approved state and fulfilled. So now John has to go and accept this order. After testing maybe or checking that if it is working, he can just simply accept this. So this is as simple as that. Now let's say based on certain value, I would like to send this approval to someone for an additional approval. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my request, the workflow basically. Okay, and now this time I have to get order details. So I'm going to pick up get order data, connect it over here, Go to argument, just copy this booking ID, come back over here, click OK, and in here we'll create a variable, let it be default get order data service booking form, it's okay, and click OK over here. Now second thing what we need is we need to get single record data, and by this mean I have to go here, I need to look for my data definition, which is in this case form, and if you see my form values have started populating over here, but I'm not going to do it right now because I have to first link it to expression ID and the variable which we have just created. Click OK. Now I'm going to look for specific things. So for example, let's say if the laptop is selected, then it should go to a specific person or a specific role to get approved. All right, and I'm going to write it over here, variable name, to store this value. Okay, now let's say in here we'll go and create a role, for example, which is VPN laptop approval. Okay, just this is for testing, so that's why I'm just giving any name. So you should have, of course, proper structure where you want to send this approval and what should be the next step. So I'll say laptop okay, and this time member I would probably make Bob, let's say, a member of this group. Okay, now let's go back over here. Now I have to get another one, so I can just copy this one and paste it. Okay, let's keep it over here, but before that I need to get decision workflow. Okay, now over here I have to check for condition because it's a boolean. Laptop will have a value or it will not have a value. So I will just put my variable name over here, and if it is true, then it should go to this approver. We'll say okay, and from here I'm going to change this to not from here, and in fact, because this is for a user, I have to assign it to role, so I need to search for VPN, and that's it. Now I'll go here, check in, validate, release. Okay, now let's go back to John Wick and imagine John Wick is raising another request. And which says John Wick okay, I'm not going to select laptop for this, rather I will select desktop. Okay, or even if I don't select it, is fine, but for now I'm just going to do that. Click on add and place an order. This is without laptop selected. All right, now refresh. Though in the initial stage it will show that both approvers are pending, but I will show you as soon as I'll approve it from one person, the direct manager, it will get provision. I'll show you from here quickly. Okay, okay, and you see it has not gone to the second person for approval. Now let's go back to John Wick and raise another VPN request form. Okay, and place order. So now it has gone to Bilal again. So let's approve it on behalf of Bilal first. Decide. Okay, done. From here, now if I click on this, you see it has gone to VPN laptop approver, and Bob William has got an email that there is an order which needs your approval. Over here, if you see, Bob has received the decision for order is pending with you. Now what Bob can do is copy the link in the browser, copy the link location. I will try to open it in incognito mode of Chrome. Yep, so now he has logged in. And if I go back to John Wick now, this order is fulfilled. So this is how you can play around with workflows. So maybe in later tutorials we'll see how we can do even more towards the workflows. But for today, that's it. So this is what I wanted to show you in today's session. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked the video. Hit the like button. Leave a comment below to let me know what do you feel about this video. And till next video, take good care of yourself. Bye.